Let the international press in. Let them make determinations.
Catastrophic starvation. Now you have this technical designation, so rare to see a famine here.
We've estimated at this point that about 18,000 children in Gaza have already died.
We now have an official declaration of famine in Gaza, only furthering the horrific effects of this genocide, and a Face the Nation panel for us to hop into with a UNICEF speaker discussing just this. So leave us a like on the video if you can. It helps us out a bunch. It lets us know you enjoy this kind of content, and let's get right to the video.
We've spoken so many times over the past few years about the catastrophic starvation. Now you have this technical designation, so rare to see a famine here. They project it's going to spread. Can you explain in real world terms, what does this mean for the children who live there?
Well, thank you, Margaret. Let me say this. You know, it's been now almost 2 years since October 7th. And since then, Israeli children have been killed and taken hostage. And now we're seeing Palestinian children finally facing what we've been yelling and screaming about for months and months and months, which is a terrible famine. You know, we've estimated at this point that about 18,000 children in Gaza have already died. And those are children who died from a whole range of issues. But when you think about that, that's about 28 children a day.
And this is not only devastating to hear alone, but incapacitating when matched with the fact that it's only going to get worse, and it's already beginning to, as Trump is fully in Netanyahu's pockets, bought and paid for by the Adelsons, and he's willing to let him go as far as fully ethnically cleansing the people and annexing Gaza. He's offered to help them. The official declaration of famine is a rare occurrence. Like, we don't see this often because the standard is that hard to reach, but you shouldn't make a mistake. These conditions have long been set in before this declaration, right? Again, hard standard, but like, kids have been going without food, starving, being left to live on less than 12% of the needed recommended calories, dying from it, right? It's just this official announcement now brings much more eyes to a drastically dire situation that needs it.
The Israeli government entity that oversees the Palestinian territories, it's called COGAT, says there is no famine. They say the UN data is flawed. The Prime Minister's office says these are fabrications and due to prejudice. Can you explain how you know what you know? We are showing images that we know journalists have shot, journalists who live inside Gaza, because journalists are not allowed into Gaza to report. How do you know that what you're saying is fact?
Let me say two things about that. One is the IPC, which is the organization that makes this determination, is an independent organization. They're technical people. They're not political people. And they monitor this as they go. When they look at issues like what are the levels of food deprivation, what's the acute malnutrition level, how many starvation-related deaths. So it's a very technical assessment. And I think we've seen in other places that this is very accurate.
Yeah, we see it every day. We see it in pictures, we see it in videos, we hear the accounts firsthand from doctors who were there, from survivors, from journalists, right? But it's the telltale sign of desperation when someone is questioning the credibility of a source without any evidence or grounds to do so, just on the source itself, because they know they can't dispute the merits of the claim it's making. It's something you see MAGA do a lot, right? They'll go, oh, it's a left-wing source. Oh, it's CNN, so we can't trust it. But like, if CNN said 2 + 2 was 4, it doesn't make it wrong because you go, oh, CNN. It doesn't make it partisan because you go, oh, CNN. It's still just a fact, which is why source literacy is important. But when people just discount the source because it is what it is, it means they have no argument on the grounds of the claim that source is making. And that's super clear in Israel's case because we see the effects in real time, right? Like, we have the photos and videos. In the age of social media, it's harder to get away with these things. We have stories, we have all of that. And as they pile up, it becomes insurmountable.
Let the international press in. Let them make determinations. I mean, we've talked about this, Margaret, of you coming. You should see it yourself. Everyone should be able to get in there. Absent that, we're going to have to rely on the data that we have, the people who are there. And I can tell you from the UNICEF perspective, our people are tortured by this. I mean, I've spoken to our staff and they are seeing children who are incredibly deprived. Many thousands of children who have had amputations and are, you know, I mean, just one terrible thing after another for children. And to suggest that there's anything funny going on here is really, in my mind, just almost making the situation worse, right? Just stop the discussion, stop the arguing, and address the problem. Get food in there, take care of these children, make sure that they have the wherewithal to survive and have a decent future.
This is the other bit that's always been super absurd to me, to say the least, like that Israel is both the side that is refusing to let in independent media and the side trying to claim that the numbers that we have as a result of that cannot be trusted, but they can't be verified because of their own actions. Like, just let the independent media in, then it should be pretty simple. That's an easy fix. If you have this open and shut case, let it be open and shut, let the journalists see. But that is truly the purpose, right? Which shouldn't be lost in this. It gives them plausible deniability rather than being exposed out in the open. So if anything, they'll accept the possible backlash from not letting in media because that's far less than what they know they would get as a result of finally letting in media. It's sick and vile. And again, only made worse by the fact that MAGA and Trump are entirely on board, signing off on this and ready to continue the genocide.